Jeremy Maclin, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Chiefs defense getting ready to roll. And a great job last time. They got the 4th down stop. It led to points. See if they can make magic happen twice.
How about the defense, though? You're going to go for it against us on your own side of the field. Rose up and stopped them. Went off the field and said, offense, take over. Put it in the end zone for us. And that's exactly what they did.
Puts a little chip on their shoulder when that happens, right?
Yeah, a lot of meanness involved in that.
They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
It's complete to Fuller. And the ball is knocked out. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football. And the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Following the fumble recovery, Smith. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. DeAnthony Thomas, the intended receiver. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, as a former DB, I never want to do anything to take away credit from a good play, and we just saw one there, able to force an incompletion by knocking the pass away. But if you're a DB in Houston, you love what you're getting up front because it makes you that much better. The defensive pressure that they get on quarterbacks, where they're often running for their life, or they're having to throw it faster than they want to, or their sight lines aren't very good, that helps you become a better cover guy. And I think the Houston Texans defensive backs take advantage of that. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 1st down, Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The veteran Jeremy Maclin was the intended target. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. Unable to connect on the 1st down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. Charles the lone setback. Smith now to throw. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
So the offense needing 4 yards. It's 3rd down. Again, Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Smith. And this is caught. He hits Maclin. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Jeremy Maclin with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Chiefs are able to get this back within a touchdown. Wow, talk about a big fourth down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense. On second down, here's Miller. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Allen Bailey in on the stop. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, Osweiler. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The five-time Pro Bowler, Tom Bahali, in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016. Returnable for Thomas. Fighting through. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Back to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
They'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for James O'Shaughnessy as tight end. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. 10th carry now for Jamal Charles. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. And Wilson has it. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This is taken at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line. So deja vu all over again. Another good week. And sometimes maybe, because the defense doesn't look that bad, maybe this is just good offense beating good defense in his case.
I like that because we always want to point out that there's a breakdown or someone made a mistake or there was an error. Sometimes it's exactly as you described it. Sometimes they just made better plays, and that's what he's been doing for the last 2 weeks. Someone's got to find a way to cover this guy. Otherwise, he may set some records.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. Osweiler setting up the screen for Miller. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
They completed the screen, but one of the things you worry about is can the quarterback get rid of the ball before he's actually tackled? So your offensive linemen have to hold up the rushers a little bit because you want to make sure you keep your guy's jersey clean throughout the game.
Osweiler to throw. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 12. And it'll give the Texans a first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball.
Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. So now it's all up to the kicker, Nick Novak. He made his only attempt earlier. This for the win. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the fourth. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Now Smith, he's got time, and he's going to go down. The Texans come at him, and it's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. They'll keep it on the ground with Charles again. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Going underneath for Charles. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. He'll look to set up his blockers. And he'll be out of bounds, getting it across the 25. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
That part 1 is done. Now part 2.
Let's go!
Now what can Osweiler do here in overtime? Caught left side, Hopkins. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but they have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks. Those guys will worth their weight in gold.
They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Let's go!
On second down, here's Osweiler. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT.
Chains. Ow. Caught up in my, put your head on backwards, then skate off after engaging laughter about what just happened.